Hello and welcome to another Etch Red quick tip video. In this video we're going to be making a dubstep wobble bass, but the purpose isn't really to teach you how to make a dubstep wobble bass, rather the purpose is to show you some of the advanced CV routing capabilities of Etch Red. Here's what our wobble bass is going to sound like when we've finished. So I'll start by deleting this Etch Red and these two matrix sequencers. And what we're left with is a subtractor that's giving us our basic bass tone. Now obviously it's missing all its wobble, so let's put that back in. I'll start by inserting an Etch Red dual filter. If we flip the rack around, we can see that the output of subtractor has gone into the input of Etch Red and the outputs of Etch Red are going into the mixer channel. So the wobble bass is quite simple. I'm going to put the filter type to fatty mode and bring the filter cutoff down to about 350 Hz. And then rather predictably we're going to use LFO 1 to modulate the cutoff. I'll put it at about 2 bars. It's sync to tempo because the sync button here is on, and then I just need to make sure that LFO 1 is selected in the modulation source selection area, and I'll increase the amount here and we should hear something happening straight away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the drive going into the filter so we get that lovely kind of distorted crunchy sound, and it also means we can use high resonances without getting the squeal that you usually associate with a high resonance. You just get a really kind of meaty sound. So the next step is to automate the LFO 1's rate, and we're going to do this with a matrix sequencer. I'll flip around. Now it's automatically connected the sequencer to subtractor, but we don't want that, so we'll just get rid of those. What we do want is we want the curve output going to the CV1 input. And we'll put the matrix in curve mode, and I'm just going to put in some kind of random steps here. We'll keep it at 8 steps just to keep things manageable. And then in Etch Red I'm going to enable CV1 in the modulation source selection area, which is our CV1 on the back panel, and we're going to apply that to the LFO's rate. Let's put it at 100% and see what that sounds like. And we need a slightly slower resolution for the matrix sequencer. That's not sounding too bad, but I'm going to put in one additional step. I'm going to add an extra matrix sequencer. And this sequencer is going to be used to control the LFO 1's phase reset. So we're going to have a single gate. And that single gate we're going to route to the LFO 1 re-trigger input, and every time a gate comes out of the matrix sequencer it's going to re-trigger LFO 1. This means that every time the matrix sequencer loops around, the LFO will be re-triggered at an exact phase, meaning we get a reproducible loop every time. Let's go a step further and use the sample and hold output to modulate the FM amount in Subtractor. I'm going to set this to, let's say, 1/4 bar, no slew rate, and then round the back here I'm going to take the output of the sample and hold and plug it into the FM amount input. Now I've reduced the input amount a little bit here because we don't want too much. Let's see what that sounds like. And that's advanced CV routing with FXpansion's Etch Red.